Welcome viewers. In this section we are going to take up the networking section of your computers section. So the first question that you get in networking is expansion of FTP is. So we know FTP is a file transfer protocol. So again the question is about the abbreviation that has been asked in the question. The next question is FTP is built on architecture. Which architecture? So the answer is client-server architecture. What happens in client-server architecture? Basically, client-server architecture is a kind of a model in which there is a server and there is a client. The server is basically the master and the client is basically the slave. It is also called as master-slave architecture. So basically, server is the most powerful machine and clients are the regular machines. So the resources would be held by the server, and if a client has to use the resources, the request has to be sent from client to the server. The next question is FTP uses dash parallel TCP connections to transfer a file. So FTP basically uses two kind of hosts to establish a connection and exchange the streams of data. The next question is identify the incorrect statement. So for this question to attempt, you have to read all the four options. The first option is FTP stands for the file transfer protocol. Obviously this is right. So this would not be the answer. FTP uses two parallel TCP connections. FTP sends exactly one file over the data connection. FTP sends its control information in band. So the answer on the after reading this is C. FTP is basically a protocol for transferring a file from one host to another, and for this reason HTTP is said to be send its control information in band. Next question is if the 5 files are transferred from server A to client B in the same session, the number of TCP connections between A and B is, the answer would be 6. To calculate TCP connection there is a formula, that is n plus 1, where n is the total number of files transferred. So you can put that formula into the question and the answer would be 6. The next question is what is the IP address range of APIPA? So the IP address range for APIPA is a feature of Windows-based operating system that enables a computer to automatically assign itself an IP address. So there is a range of IP address and you have to memorize it. Okay, that is 169.254.0.12, 169.254.255.254. So there would be approx 253 connections. Okay, next question is which of the following is correct in VLSM? So the answer is VLSM is a means to specify a different subnet mask for the same network number on different subnets. So basically VLSM can have subnets of different sizes. What does the port number in TCP connection specify? So there is a port number in TCP connections which specifies the communication process on the two end systems. And another thing in this question that is very essential to remember is port 80 is used for the HTTP traffic. The default port for the HTTP is port 80. The class-based addressing is also known as classful model. Okay, the method divides the IP addresses space for Internet Protocol version 4 into 5 address classes based on the leading 4 address bits. So this is also known as classful model. Which of the following is the correct in CIDR? There is no concept of class A, B, C networks. CIDR is a way to allocate more flexible allocations of Internet Protocol address. The next question is what is the size of source and destination IP address in IP header? So we have done this question earlier that the size of the address for IPv4 is 32 bits. Okay, so the answer is 32 bit. The next question is which of the following is a reliable communication? Out of the protocols, only TCP is a reliable end-to-end connection protocol which provides a end-to-end delivery. What is the typical range of ephemeral ports? So the typical range of ephemeral ports is 102.4 to 655.35. What is an ephemeral port? The ephemeral port is a short-lived endpoint that is created by the operating system when a program requests any available user port. That port is known as ephemeral port. What is the purpose of the push flag in the TCP header? Push flag is typically used to indicate the end of a message. Common LAN topologies are, out of the topologies here, bus and ring is very common and star is a very common LAN topology, while mesh is not a very common topology because it is very hard to implement. Next is network providing high speed connectivity is MAN, that is Metropolitan Area Network. Okay, and when do we use the MAN? So we use the MAN when there are computer resources in a geographical area larger than that covered by a LAN. The next question is connection in which multiple devices share a single link is called multi-point. What we call that connection? The connection is called multi-point. Star topology is used in, we just have read the question above, and the question is star topology is used in, we just read it, and the answer would be LAN. Difficult reconnection and fault isolation are disadvantages of. Okay. Bus topology basically is a topology for LAN in which all the nodes are connected to a single cable. Okay. So this is a disadvantage of a bus topology. Connection of telephone regional office is a practical example of a mesh topology. Okay. In a mesh topology, every computer in the network has connection to the each of the other computer of the network. So mesh topology is an example of a telephone regional office. Next question is combination of two or more topologies are called hybrid. We know the meaning of the word hybrid. Hybrid is a mixture. So if there are a mixture of two topologies, that would be called a hybrid topology. Newest evolution in LAN technology is wireless. Okay, so LAN would become wireless. Working document with no official status and 6 months lifetime is called Internet Draft. An Internet Draft is a document published by the IETF. IETF is Internet Engineering Task Force, containing preliminary technical specifications. Okay, results of the networking related research or the other technical information. Basically, IETF is a foundation that looks out for all the tasks that comes under the internet technology. Organization that is developing cooperation in realms of scientific, technological and economic activity is International Organization for Standardization. Okay, the main goal of this organization is to focus on the process improvement, safety and quality in several areas. Internet Working Protocol. The protocol on which the internet works is TCP/IP, that is Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. The next question is parameter that refers to set of rules that govern data and communication are called. We all know that protocol is a kind of a set of rules or a stack of rules. De facto means by fact. Okay. In fact, whether by right or not. De facto means by fact. In bus topology, device linking all nodes in a network is called hub. So basically backbone in which several nodes and server are connected to a one bone. The next question is ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. The question number 30 is DHCP server provides dash to the client. Which DHCP server provides IP address. Okay, DHCP server is a network server that automatically provides and assigns IP addresses, default gateways and other network parameters to the client devices. Okay, the next question is a set of rules that governs all aspects of information communication is called, we know this question earlier, that is protocol. The process on each machine that communicate at a given layer are called peer-to-peer processes. Okay, peer-to-peer means that are on the same level. Same level things are called peer-to-peer. The duration of time that takes to send a message from one end of a network to the another end is called RTT, that is round trip time. Which of the following layer is not a network support layer? Transport layer is not a network support layer. Okay, and transport layer in the OSI model, that is Open System Interconnection model, is responsible for the end-to-end communication over a network. For error detection, there is a technique which is used by the higher level protocols, TCP/IP, and that technique is bit sum of bit differences among all pairs. The amount of data that can be carried from one point to another in a given time period is called a bandwidth. A range of frequencies within a given band in particular that used for transmitting a signal is called the bandwidth. Controlling access to a network by analyzing the incoming and outgoing packets is called packet filtering. Is the process of passing or blocking packets at a network interface based on the source and destination addresses, ports and protocols. The next question is the management of data flow between computers or devices or between the nodes in a network is called flow control. The explanation for this question is flow control is the management of data flow between computers or devices between nodes in a network so the data can be handled at an efficient pace. Which of the following is not the possible way of data exchange? So simplex is there, half duplex is there, full duplex is there, but there is no multiplex. Okay, there are three modes of exchange of data. Okay, and in simplex what happens? In simplex there is only one-way connection of data. Okay, and in half duplex there could be two-way connection but only one at a time. and then there is full duplex, then you can send the data at any time over both directions. The example of simplex would be, there would be only one-sided connection. For example, broadcasting. Like if you hear news on your TV channel, then that is a kind of simplex, because the news anchor is passing you the information, but you cannot pass information to him or her. So that is a kind of simplex, only one way connection. Okay, the next is half duplex. Half duplex, the example for half duplex would be like walkie-talkie, that only one person sends message over at a time. And then there is full duplex, like on telephone, on mobile phones. What we can do, we can talk simultaneously. Okay, we can pass data simultaneously. I can also speak from here and you can also speak from there, but there is a way that at one time only one speaks. That is our courtesy. That is the way we communicate. But the channel has the capacity that it can take the data from both sided at a same time. So the next question is, which of the following is not the external security threats? So the answer is underground threats. External threats are basically malicious campaigns and threat that attempts to exploit security exposures in your surface that exists outside the firewall. The next question is, what is the demilitarized zone? So the area between the firewall and the connection to an external network is basically called the demilitarized zone. What is the maximum header size of an IP packet? So the maximum header size of an IP packet is 32 bytes. You also remember that the address for the IPv4 is 32-bit. What is the size of host bits in class B of IP address? The size of the host bit is 16. What is the usable size of network bits in the class B of IP address? And that is, the class B address has the first bit set to 1 and the second bit set to 0 to utilize the remaining address set. So the answer would be 14. In which type of RAID data is mirrored between two disks? RAID is a technology that is used to increase the performance and reliability of a data storage, and RAID 1 is the kind of the RAID in which data is mirrored between two disks. What do you mean by broadcasting in networking? It means we are addressing a packet to all the machines. Okay, there would be no numbering on the packets. All the machines on the network are going to receive the packet. Which of the following is or are protocols of application? Okay, so all of the protocols given here, FTP, Telnet and DNS, are basically the application layer protocols. Which of the following protocols are defined in transport layer? Okay, so only B and C, TCP and UDP, are defined at the transport layer. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol and UDP stands for User Datagram Protocol. What is the benefit of the networking? So all of the benefits of the networking, you can share your files through networking, you can have backup, you can have access to resources. So all of the given options are advantages of networking. Which of the following is not a networking device? Obviously, gateways, routers and firewalls are the devices, but Linux is a operating system. The next question is, which of the following can be a software? Routers are not a software, gateways are a device, modems are a device, so only option is firewalls. What is the use of ping command? Ping command is basically used to test a device over the network if it is reachable or not. When you ping a device and if it answers, it gets pinged, then it means that the device is reachable. Routing table of a router keeps track of all the routes that are being used to forward data over the destination. So routing table is going to keep the track of the routes which are being used by the data to get to the destination. Layer 2 switch is also called a multi-port bridge. Okay, a layer 2 switch is a type of network switch or device that works on the data link layer. That is the additional information for you, that the layer 2 switch works on which layer? Layer 2 switch works on data link layer. Differences between T568A and T568B is just different in manufacturing standards. Okay, the meaning of straight through cable is a 4-wire pair connects to the same pin on each head. This question is kind of a technical one, as this is something that you have to memorize, because straight through cable is a kind of a cable that has been used in networking, and it is a 4-wire pair that is connected to the same pin on each head. And if you read out the options and you have not memorized this one, you are going to get confused in the exam that which answer is true. So just memorize it, that if there is a straight through cable, the answer would be 4-wire pairs connect to the same pin on each head. The next question is, why IP protocol is considered as unreliable? So the reason is all of the above. As packets can arrive out of order in IP protocol, duplicate packets भी आ सकते हैं इसमें, and a packet can also get lost. So all of the above are the reasons that why a IP packet is unreliable. The next question is, what is the minimum header size of an IP packet? So the answer is 20 bytes. Okay, the shortest header size is 20 bytes for this IP packet. Which of the following provides reliable communication? Since we have started doing the networking questions, I am telling you this, that transmission control protocol TCP provides an end-to-end communication. So TCP is a reliable communication. What is the address of IPv6? We know that IPv4 address is 32-bit and the address size of IPv6 is 128-bit. This is a very important question because IPv6 is the recent version of the IP communication protocol. The next question is, what is the size of network bits and host bits of class A of IP address? The answer is network bits size is 7 and host bit size is 24. Okay. What does the router do? So in a network, what does the router do? Router basically determines the outlink of a packet that has to be forwarded. That which route is that packet going to take to reach the destination. And the next question is, the internet is an example of which kind of network? So internet works on a packet switching net. Next question is, what does the protocol defines? So we know that protocol are basically the stack of rules that defines when the data is communicated and how the data is communicated. So protocol defines each and everything about the data communication if it is a protocol in a data transfer. What is the use of subnetting? The use of subnetting is that it divides a one larger network into the smaller ones. Okay, so the use of subnetting is that it reduces the network traffic and it conceals the network complexity.